Good evening, everyone. I'm Jacob Morse with your evening news for this Monday, October 29, 2012. Hurricane Sandy is set to make landfall this evening around the Atlantic City, New Jersey area, but its impacts will be far more widespread across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Here's Will with the details.
Thank you, Jacob. Even though this storm is relatively weak in terms of its wind speed, it's massive in terms of size. We're really looking at a worst-case scenario to happen in the next day or so, as the center of this superstorm sits just off the coast of Jersey as a Category 1 storm, with winds around 80 miles per hour. Tropical storm force winds, which are winds greater than 39 miles per hour, will extend from Richmond all the way up to Bangor, Maine. These winds won't just cause widespread power outages, but they'll also contribute to the life-threatening storm surge that we're seeing in coastal areas. Tonight, a full moon is expected to make our high tides even higher and amplifying current Sandy storm surge to possible record highs. Let's go to Haley, who's in Lower Manhattan, with live coverage.
We're definitely feeling the impacts of Sandy already here in Manhattan, as we can see the winds whipping up the East River and the water is beginning to creep up closer to where we are. Airlines have canceled flights all throughout the Northeast. The New York Stock Exchange was not in operation today, and many transit services have also been suspended. If you're not already out of the area by now, just try to stay in a safe spot as the superstorm passes through. The things we really have to be concerned about are the damaging winds and the storm surge. In urban areas like New York City, winds are being funneled in between buildings, giving them an extra kick, and I can definitely feel them from where I am. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Haley. State of emergencies have already been in place for Washington, D.C., Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Rhode Island, West Virginia, and New Jersey, helping to get federal aid to supplement the city's response efforts to meet the emergency conditions that we expect from this hurricane. We hope that people in low-lying areas and along the coast have made it to safety, as everyone in the Northeast will be experiencing the effects of this storm over the next several days. Let's go to Lucille, who has some more details.
Thanks, Jacob. Along with the size of the storm, the track that it has taken is rather unusual, and it has also contributed to the extent of the storm surge and flooding that we will see. Normally, hurricanes that move along the east coast of the U.S. are steered out across the Atlantic Ocean before they can directly impact land. However, in this case, we have a big area of high pressure to the northeast of the U.S., which is effectively blocking Sandy from moving on to the Atlantic. The storm was forced to take a left turn and unfortunately into the most densely populated area of the country. We expect the storm surge to be the highest to the east of the track of the storm, where winds will be blowing onshore all the way from New Jersey to Maine. Back to you, Haley.
Let's head out to Kyle, who's in West Virginia, where heavy snow is actually expected from Superstorm Sandy.
Thanks, Haley. For the first time that I can remember, we will be experiencing snow associated with the tropical system here in the higher elevations of West Virginia. Most of the state can see upwards of a foot to 2 feet of snow due to some colder air being funneled out from Canada and onto the backside of Sandy. This just shows you the number of ways that the superstorm will be affecting over 60 million people over the next couple of days. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Kyle. That'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. We hope that everyone in the Northeast area remains safe over these next few days, as Superstorm Sandy looks to be devastating. Good night.